Welcome to the Fear and Greed Afternoon Report for Friday, the 14th of October 2022. I'm Sean Aylmer. Every afternoon we've got the 5 stories that happened today that you need to know about. Story number 1, the S&P ASX 200 closed up 1.75% today to 6,759 points, rounding out, which until today had been a pretty poor week. Pretty much all sectors of the market rose, led by the energy and utilities companies. Woodside Energy and Santos both jumped more than 4%. There were plenty of strong performers, though, among the large caps. Ensure QBE rose more than 4.5%. WiseTech Global jumped nearly 4%, while Aristocrat Leisure and Woolworths were both around 3% higher. Ear implant maker Cochlear was another good performer, up around 5%. Among the financials, Suncorp led the way. It rose 5% and Westpac added another 2%. Virgin Money, which is UK-based, surged 10% on the back of renewed confidence in that market. Domino's Pizza was up more than 7%. On the other side of the ledger, Pilbara Minerals fell more than 5%, while Harvey Norman went ex-dividend, falling nearly 4%. Story number 2, plenty going on in overseas markets. The biggest news came out of the US, where a reading of core inflation measured it at its highest in 40 years. That means the Fed is likely to lift interest rates by 75 basis points when it next meets next month. All things being equal, you'd expect Wall Street to fall because higher rates lifts the chance of a recession and lower earnings. But no, this morning the S&P 500 ended 2.6% higher. The reasons given were technical, whatever that is, confidence that the inflation reading would be the peak in price rises, and what UK Prime Minister Liz Truss said. There's now speculation that Ms Truss will do a U-turn on her plan to cut taxes. That's the plan that no one likes because it will fuel inflation. That sent markets higher, including Europe and Wall Street. What a crazy 24 hours. Story number 3, floodwaters in Victoria, Tasmania and New South Wales have stranded hundreds of people and others have had to leave their homes, with many rivers still rising. In Victoria, the State Emergency Service has responded to more than 2,600 requests for help in 24 hours and carried out at least 120 flood rescues during the past couple of days. More than 4,700 homes in the state lost power, including 1,500 near Apollo Bay in the state's coastal southwest. Victoria's vacant pandemic quarantine facility in Mickleham, 30 kilometres north of Melbourne CBD, could reopen next week to house flood victims, with hundreds facing a prolonged period without access to their homes. And story number 5. Australians will soon be able to watch Netflix for a lower subscription fee of $6.99 a month, but only if they're happy to watch ads. The US-based streaming giant is rolling out a new low-cost subscription, which will also earn revenue from advertisements. There'll be about 4 minutes of ads every hour, with an ad broadcasting for between 15 and 30 seconds. Ads will be targeted broadly around genres such as action, drama, romance and sci-fi. Advertisers will also be able to limit where their ads appear. For example, they'll be able to dictate if they don't want their ad near sex, nudity or graphic violence. That's it for the afternoon report for Friday the 14th of October 2022. Michael Thompson, Adam Lang and I will be back tomorrow morning with a weekend edition of Fear and Greed. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your evening.